have a really, really good dinner. Really good dinner.
The purpose of this trip actually came twofold. It was an idea that we would actually take political communication students and let them see what the political process actually looked like in a larger city, but also we would incorporate the backpack journalism ideas that are coming out of that class, and they would work together to actually cover issues that were important not only to this election but to people in general. Well, on a personal note, this is actually one of those things that I've always really wanted to do. I've wanted to sort of have students realize the importance of not only politics, but also what it's like to pick up everything and go into a city, learn how to use public transit, make all the mistakes that you can possibly make, but do it in a safety net environment in which, at the end of the day, they have a house to go back to, they have friends they can count on, and things like that. But this is something that I've really wanted to do for a long time, because I had actually been involved in similar projects when I was in school, and I actually found that those were some of the greatest learning opportunities that I had as a student. But also it helps me as a professor to learn more about actually preparation, the logistics, things like that, that we think that everybody knows, but then we realize that people just don't know many times, or it's changed in some way. So for me personally, this is sort of, it's a positive and a negative. A positive in that it's been very successful and everything, even with all the frustration and everything, there's still a positive note that comes out of it, but it's also sort of a bittersweet, because at the end of this, you guys graduate. And this is it. After this will be the last election that you guys work with me on, so it's sort of bittersweet in that regard. The thing that I will take from this trip is the thing that I take from almost any trip in which I take students on, and that is the fact that at the end of the day, that if you give the students the knowledge and the preparation, and you give them the room for creativity and creative growth, that they will always shock and surprise you beyond belief. We know that they're capable of doing it. We know that you guys as students are capable of doing it, but sometimes we have to let you figure it out for yourself. And so that's always really cool to, when you look at something and you see what your footage is and you say, oh my, that was too cool. Because many times we see things through a lens and then we never actually get to experience it because of that. And this trip allowed you guys to not only experience it, but also to get the footage at the same time and to do it in a very, very compact setting. And I'm hoping that you guys will take a real world experience out of this. And this is something that you can put on your resume and that you can put into your portfolios and say, look, this is what I can do. In 48 hours, I can produce this. And I think you guys are going to actually surprise people out there in the field. The best part of the trip, probably for me personally with the students, has been the time at night, the dinners, the getting to know each other, those sorts of things. The best part for me personally in my research endeavors was the tour that I actually took with a local, in which I got to see all the different architectural places that are very prominent and very important in politics, and at the same time actually start to weave the stories and in some cases the conspiracy theories together, because at the end of the day that's still part of it. The worst part of the trip probably is exhaustion. That's always going to be the worst part of anything, but I think at the end, and then also losing files and things like that, that's always a really bad part. But I mean, at the end of it, I couldn't be prouder of you guys.